Animal Lives, The Barn Owl. Yep, by Sally Tagholm, illustrated by Bert Kitchen. Animal Lives, The Barn Owl, by Sally Tagholm and Bert Kitchen. It's copyright 1999. The barn owl sits motionless on the gate, a ghostly shape in the slowly gathering dusk. The winter fields are frozen, the trees bare, and the landscape deserted. Some creatures, such as long-tailed field mice, do not stray far from home. With food so hard to find, the owl will have to leave his favorite perch at night. The pale sun has almost disappeared from view. It is time to hunt. And see, there's a barn owl sitting motionally on the gate, top of the gate. At dusk. He swoops over the trees and hedges across the rolling countryside, leaving the gate far behind. A silent phantom, his huge wings quietly beat the night air, their soft, downy surface deadening the sound. Under the splendid feathers, his body slim and surprisingly light, the perfect flying machine. With his super efficient sense of hearing and big round eyes that can see in the dark, he will find a plump or juicy rat before long. He might even come across a flock of small birds roosting in some frosty hedge. See, there he is with the house in the background, and there he is, top on a little post. The barn owl slows down and almost comes to a halt. He has found what he's looking for. He hovers, suspended in the dark night air. With his eyes fixed on the small brown mouse perched on a fallen tree trunk, he bides his time. Suddenly plunges, snatching his prey, falling at it, vise-like grip of his deadly claws. He flies off triumphantly, his prize hanging from his beak, and there is barn owl bouncing on a mouse. Spring is here. The trees are in bloom, and small creatures scurry and scamper after the long, cold winter. After months of roosting around, the barn owl has found a mate. From his perch on the gate, his blood-curdling screech pierces the still night air. The female answers, and they twist and turn in the air, calling to each other and playing tag in the dark like ghostly acrobats. See, here comes here's the two owls calling for each other. See, the male has a mouse in his beak. Now there is plenty of food in the hedges and ditches, and the owl does not have to fly far to find a tasty, long-tailed field mouse. He presents it to the female, a juicy offering which she swallows whole. Then he flies off again, searching more food. The more the better. The female encourages him, begging for food by making husky hisses that sounds like snoring. Sometimes the male hovers in front of her in midair, fluttering his powerful wings. After she fully accepts, it will be time to mate. See, there they are, sitting on top of a fence, and that must be their home, the barn distance. The two owls roost together in the crumbling buildings of a deserted farm. One of their favorite places is the old barn. It is a special owl window high up in the gable, built long ago when the farmers needed owls to hunt the rats and mice that ate their grain. It is peaceful and dark up in the rafters, the perfect place to nest. The birds preen each other in the shadows. There they are, flying into an owl window shaped like an O. Our barns in the background. After mating, the female lays a clutch of 5 smooth white eggs one at a time. This happens over 10 days, and she warms by sitting tight on her nest in the gloom above some forgotten bales of straw and rusty farm machinery. She only goes off occasionally to preen and stretch her wings in the open air. At regular intervals, she stands up and turns the eggs to make sure they are heated evenly, brushing around her face and bill. They soon get a little dirty because the nest is really just a layer of dry old owl pellets, scattered fur, feathers, and tiny bones of undigested prey. The remains of several rodents brought in by the male to feed his mate weeks ago by rotting in nearby straw. See, there's the female owl laying her 5 eggs. The barn owl is very busy pecking in the field, bringing his back his catches to his hungry mice. This time is the short-tailed vole, the barn owl's favorite food. The days go slowly by, and she sits patiently on the eggs, hardly moving. After 4 long months, the brooding female becomes restless. At last, she can hear faint cheeping calls coming from inside her first egg. See, Here comes the male owl bring a short-tailed owl back from the house. Hayloft. Tiny cracks appear on the shell as the first chick gets ready to leave its safe, warm world. He gets a special bump on top of his beak and egg tooth to help push his way out. Blind and helpless, his scrawny pink tooth folds like a tiny dinosaur. 2 days later, a second egg hatches. The mother feeds her new chicks with great scraps torn from freshly delivered prey. By the time the last egg hatches, the first chick is 10 days old as the beds are about to open. And here's the mother owl feeding her owlets with all eyes open. With so many mouths to feed, the male hunts before dusk and after dawn as well as night. He brings in a viod frog or little bird as a constant supply of small mammals. The chick's body is soon covered with fluffy white down. Their newly eyes are black and beady. As they grow, the mother also spreads her wings, leaving the nest to hunt. See, some of the owlets are getting very adult, lose their fluffy down feathers, and are starting to lose their adult wings. As their beautifully speckled grown-up feathers appear, the 5 owlets slowly lose their white baby fluff. They explore the nest, hopping around the squashed pellets, their heads bobbing from side to side as they investigate in the gloom. Fearless, they soon reach out every nook and cranny of the hayloft and peer through the old round window as the world outside. By now, the mother roosts away from the barn, coming back only to deliver fresh food supplies. One by one, the young owls start to exercise their brand new wings. They experiment, stretching and flapping, preparing for the first perilous flights. After 2 months, the first hatch flies from the nest. His brothers and sisters soon follow. There goes the first hatched young owl now, with the rest of the owlets following. It has been a long, hot summer, and the farmers have finished bringing in the crops. The earth is baked hard and dusty under a sea of stubble. The fields are full of small, cuddling creatures that are easy targeted for a pair of sharp claws. All 5 owlets are safely fledged. The barn owl and his mate, who only have themselves to feed, now sit on the gate under a clear moonlit sky. There are the 2 barn owl parents. Under the gate in the moonlit sky. There's the moon in the background. Houses in the background. Here's some facts about barn owl. Scientific name: Tyto alba. Nickname: screech owl, monkey-faced owl. Size: male and female birds are about the same size, measuring about 16 to 18 inches from head to tail. Wingspan is about 44 inches. Weight: males usually about 14 ounces. Males weigh about 18 ounces in the breeding season and 16 ounces in winter. Distribution: worldwide. Barn owls are found on every continent except the polar regions, although they avoid mountainous regions, cold areas, very hot desert regions, and dense tropical forests. Habitat: open or lightly wood country, grasslands, and cultivated areas, as well as cities. Prey: small mammals, particularly voles, as well as rats, shrews, mice, frogs, and small birds. Nests: abandoned buildings, barns, church towers, holes in trees. Eggs: laid in early or late spring, dependent on food supply. Second clutches are laid sometimes late in summer. Minimum number of eggs, 2. Maximum number of eggs, 9. The eggs take about 31 days to hatch. Near relatives: the grass owl, southern Africa; the sooty owl, New Guinea and Australia; and the masked owl, Indonesia and Australia. And here's barn owls normally keep well out of sight, flying by day and roosting in quiet, undisturbed places during the day. However, it is sometimes possible to see one hunting on a wintry night or carrying prey back to its young at dusk or in midsummer. You may even catch a glimpse of a barn owl in the headlights of a car at night. Keep an eye out for shiny black pellets or pale molted feathers in old farm buildings, but never approach or disturb the birds, particularly where they are nesting. Although it was found all over the world in the past, the barn owl is now a rare and endangered bird. Its numbers have declined dramatically this century as farmers have cleared land to make gigantic fields to produce more and more food. The barn owl's natural hunting grounds are vanishing as hedges, ditches, and rough grasslands appear. Their nesting sites are endangered too, as hollow trees are cut down and old buildings demolished or converted. Barn owl conservation groups have begun to take action, preserving the rough grasslands, which are rich in prey and provide next bucks. So, this is a place for information. And that's the end. Thank you for watching.